shot. Come on. Yeah!
Needs it.
All right, bowling fans, looks like the warm-up session is over. Carrie Smith, by Tulle being the higher seed, she has choice of winning an order in the match. She has elected to have Sandra Tulle start the match on the left wing. So, looks like the arrows are up. 10 pins on the deck. Bowling fans, pick out
all right, Sandra Tulle will begin. Maybe joined by Mr. Martinez here in a little bit, but he is getting some content for YouTube channel. Be Sandra Tulle to start. Carrie Smith, the higher seed, elected to have her begin the match, and not a bad start, just a 2-pin as we are officially now underway. The PWBA Greater Pittsburgh Regional. Big thanks to Danielle Niddle for stopping by and bowling. Talked about Danielle and what she had mentioned to me regarding hopefully what is not a serious injury, but she was able to finish the competition and nearly got herself a check. Good spare early for Sandra Tulle. I'll get more into Sandra's story a little bit here in just a second. But again, third show for Carrie Smith. Second in Spokane. Second in North Carolina. Electing to start with what has been should be the Stealth Pearl. In a familiar area of the lane, she's been the only player to play that far right all day today. She also used a radioactive vibe. She actually did throw that ball on the fresh, and you may have saw that one going down the lane a ton during practice. It is the Volt-like color. These two players split a couple of single pin makes. Mentioned this during the qualifying rounds, but you know, Carrie Smith is one of those players, and you go back really to her collegiate days where she was fantastic at Shippensburg, made Junior Team USA. She's been very solid for a very long time, and I think she is at that point, certainly. And I know that she believes she can win at the highest levels. She's already won at the regional level. Trying to add another regional title to her belt today. And shots like that will get it done. Sandra Tulle, 34 years of age. She is a registered nurse. It's got to hook a little. And again, just a 2-pin. That's back-to-back 2-pin leaves now for Tulle. Here in the opening match, top 4 players have advanced. If you are just joining us, Summer Jasmine, the #1 seed, followed by Carson Lukosius. Carson is the only non-member to make the stepladder finals here today. Carrie Smith, the number 3 seed, along with Sandra Tulle. Here from Nesbitt's Lanes, Plum, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. This woman's bowling back in the Steel City. See Savannah Schneider checking in. I was just talking about Savannah to Keegan Trexler, who I met yesterday. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Oh, that's got a chance. Nice shot. Got that one online. Here's what the players are bowling on. Getting 45 feet. .95 milliliters of oil. And again, Carrie Smith has been pretty much playing the gutter all day long. Sandra Tulle has been in the vicinity, not as far right as Carrie, but as you can see, these first couple of shots still playing the further right. Both Carson Lukosius and Summer Jasmine will be a little further left. First player to double is Carrie Smith. Carrie from Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Again, about 3.5 hours. So she's got a chance to win a title, a professional title, in her home state. You see the right to left action off the gutter. And another good shot for Carrie Smith. And she threw a lot of shots that looked just like that today. Right to left, off the gutter. Talked about her abilities to play that area of the lane so well. See if Sandra Tulle can step up. Throw a good shot to respond here. Tulle from Galesburg, Michigan. That's got a hook. Misses the head pin there right. I was talking to Sandra a little bit again before the match, and I believe it was on this pair actually, where it felt like she threw a game of 260 or better, but the scoreboard said, what, 170, 180? And it was, you know, if she got a shot ever so slightly going the wrong direction off her hand, it would result in this kind of leave. Nice spare conversion, though. But when she got through it good, clean, and everything was solid, I mean, she just buried the rack each and every time. Folks, I'm not sure how many registered nurses you know, and I feel like that is a relatively common occupation, but I don't know if you know too many first assistants in the operating room. That is one Sandra Tulle. She's been an RN for 8 years and the first assistant in the OR for 4 years, so she's seen it all. So bowling the regional championship, she's got this one under control, certainly. And she leaves at 4-7. First open frame It's at the hands of Sandra Tulle, unfortunately. And the look that Carrie Smith has had all day. Thanks to James for providing some history regarding Nesbitt's. Again, shout out to Rich, the proprietor. Well, an opportunity there for Carrie Smith to really take control of the match, and she comes back with an open in the 5th. Still holding an 18-pin advantage. Definitely recall a lot of donations keeping Nesbitt's open. Pat McAfee was involved in that as well. He is from this area. And now back-to-back 6 counts. The washout and now a 3-6-9-10. Solid spare. Well, for Sandra Tulle, after watching Carrie Smith go spare 3-bagger and you missed a 4-7, you don't want your mind to start wandering, but it's would have been really easy for her to, and you anticipate your opponent to go throw 2 more strikes on you. But she essentially hasn't lost any ground, and she can step up here and double. Cut this lead to single digits, perhaps. That's got a hook. This right lane. Hard time getting it up the hill. And Carson Lukosius, the number 2 seed, 26-year-old from Jackson, New Jersey, awaits the winner of this opening match. And now back-to-back opens for Sandra Tulle, missing a couple of makeables. When I talked to her, she had just the biggest smile. I thought it was very refreshing to talk to a player who was, getting some opportunities to shine, if you will, making a stepladder final. She was so excited that she bowled herself into the top 4, again shooting .233 in game 8. A lot of Michigan natives who bowled today, who have bowled all season on tour, who have stuck around to root for Sandra Tulle. There are plenty watching from home as well. Shout out to Charlie Tapp, Andy Shaybelt, 2 very important individuals who've been working diligently with Sandra Tulle. Smith. And she misses the head pin right. And but just when you think this one might be over from the Carrie Smith perspective, right? Because she's been given some opportunities to kind of step up and just really put a stranglehold on the match. She has not been able to do that here these last 3 frames. Not the easiest of spares, but a spare nonetheless. This is a fantastic facility. My first time here, I mentioned I really hadn't seen a 3-lane or 3-bay bowling center, I should say. At least one from there's only 24 lanes, so it's not obviously a large facility. But it's perfect, nestled right in Plum, nearby Plum High School. That's got a hook. Wow. How that hooked, I have no idea. Tulle, one at a time. And she got more hook on the right lane. But still not what she needed. Another 2-pin. Oh, I see rep in the chat. Steve. Ultimately, if Sandra Tulle does go on to lose this match, it would simply be because of mismakeable spares. It would certainly not diminish what it took for her to get to this point. But when you're on the show, and obviously she knows this certainly, and that max score is 183. This is essentially a must strike right here to have any chance. Boy, that left lane just turns around like we've all been there. Like, man, what's going on? So again, Tulle's max now 183. Carrie with good count, just looking at, pacing still in the 2-0s of the high 190s. So she can stay out of trouble. She'll be in great position heading into the 10th frame. That looks good. There it is. And that shot right there all but wrapped it up. Good count here, and Carrie Smith will advance. All right, Carrie Smith looking to potentially run the regional stepladder here this afternoon. She will take on Carson Lukosius. Coming up in match number 2 of the semifinals. Sandra Tulle will fast track a little bit. Interesting enough, Sandra has been bowling a lot. She's bowled some sports shot events recently near or in Kalamazoo. And she lives just outside of Kalamazoo, Michigan. And the last few that she's bowled on, the last 2 weeks have been on 45-foot patterns. And so, not the same pattern, different, but getting an opportunity before this event to really test her skills, get the arsenal right. She's been working on in a new fit. Not the last 2 weeks, I believe, but just in general, all of the things that part of the game that she's been working on. She is seeing the rewards here and has seen the rewards this weekend in Pittsburgh. Nice finish for Carrie Smith. It was starting to look a little bit dicey. Wasn't sure which player really wanted to take this match. And that'll do it officially. Carrie Smith defeats Sandra Tulle 231 to 163.
Number 2 seed, We'll have some warm-up shots between, and then we'll get going momentarily.
Fortunate. We'll see Summer Jasmine and Carson Lukosius get a few warm-up shots on the championship pair. The Ebonite Emerge is now in play for Carrie Smith. That's the ball she threw in the 10th frame. So we'll see if she will stick with that bowling ball. It looked pretty good, certainly to me. But now, essentially, for the rest of the tournament, Carrie Smith is going to be out on that island by herself completely. No one is going to be near her. As you can see, what Carson Lukosius or where Carson and Summer Jasmine will probably be playing. You know, Summer is out here getting a few looks, certainly. Carson doing the same, but obviously she is bowling in this next match. There's a very good story, too, online, as James mentioned, about Nesbitt's lanes and, A, just what it took to keep the business open. B, when you think about what a bowling center, and I think all of us can relate to some degree, what a bowling center and any great facility. But this is our sport, bowling, and so we say the bowling center and what it means to a community. And I think what everyone did to rally behind Nesbitt's Lanes and their donations keep this wonderful center open. Glad I got a chance to check it out. And thank you to Rich and Anthony for being hosts. All right, folks, who you got in this match? I know we have some Carson fans and some Carey fans. All right, Carson is the number 2 seed, so she's the higher seed. She has choice of lane and who starts. A former Fairleigh Dickinson Knight.
Warm-up is over. Carson, the coaches, has elected to start the match. She'll begin on the left flank. This will be our semifinal match.
She will begin the match.
How about a round of applause for these two ladies here? Thank you and good luck.
Nice opening shot. She will leave a 9-pin. Last time we saw Carson, let's see, it was a few games certainly ago, thinking back to qualifying, specifically on 11 and 12. At this point of the block, boy, there was so much hold that had developed, specifically on lane 11. And you can see the difference there. That would have held and struck at that point during qualifying. That ball was still driving as she left a 9-pin, but a good start there for Carson. Carrie Smith does look like she is going to throw the emerge. Carrie Smith, opening shot, semifinal. And the 10-pin will not cooperate. Young Patrick Martinez gathering content from his chair here in the live stream booth. And now looking at me directly. Camera. Take a look at our poll results here in just a moment on our Who You Got. I had some nice people take the opportunity, take the time to vote. All right, just a 2-pin. For the most part, Carey has left some what I would call good leaves. Even dating back to game number 1. And, of course, that match would have been a bit closer had Sandra been able to take care of some of the makeable spares. All right, 62% of you said Carey Smith would defeat Carson Lukosius here in the semifinal match. I can appreciate all of you for watching, voting. You can X that out of your screen, by the way. Now, she left a 3-6-9-10 twice during the warm-up shots on lane 12. So this technically would be the 3rd time she's left it, probably in the last 4 to 5 shots on lane 12, again dating back to warm-up. We know lane to lane can be so difficult in many cases. 3-6-9-10, no slouch, and she will take 3 in the early open for young Carson, 3-time All-American at Fairleigh Dickinson. Shout out to Mike Lopresti, the winningest women's bowling coach in NCAA history, recently handed in his resignation after 21 years at Fairleigh Dickinson, coaching great players like Carson Lukosius, for example. And she leaves a 2-4-5. Plus years. 21 years is a long time to be anywhere. And to leave NCAA bowling as the winningest coach, 9-time participant in the Final Four with FDU. There's a good spare. 2-time national title, winning coach in 2006 and 2010. Congrats, coach, on a job well done. Carey Smith, speaking of collegiate coaches, Carey Smith is about to enter that realm. First, can she strike? And another 2-pin. 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare. Looks good on the scorecard. She will be leading, Carey Smith, that is, Alvernia University in its inaugural collegiate bowling season, along with husband Jeff. That's got a chance. There it is. The Golden Wolves. It will begin with women's bowling in the upcoming academic athletic school year. It is the 31st sport for that university. It's located in Reading, Pennsylvania, about 4 hours from here. Can Lukosius get something going here? Oh my. This fresh proven to be maybe a little tricky. She did mention to me that we're talking about the varying bays here in the building and how they do play a little bit different, but she did say 1 through 16 for her did seem to kind of provide a little bit more of a free hook in that sense. All right, good spare. No strikes here through 4 for Carson, and it might be time for a ball change. She is heading to the back, now to my left. It's a different ball. She had thrown a 900 Global Zen Soul and a Storm Physics for the majority of qualifying. She said those were the 2 balls that were providing most of her success. And this is the Physics. It's in hand. Oh, well, that answers that question. She will remove said Zen Soul. Now let's see if she can put a rally together. Will Carrie Smith be able to put up a double here? Put 2 more on the board, turn that into a 3-bagger. Our guy Greg is back. Hey, Greg, thanks, by the way, for all of your wonderful notes. Did get a chance to see, obviously, Shannon Small representing Duquesne. And a bright future, as does Miss Kirkpatrick. Big shot there for Smith. That's huge. Right? You get the chop of that 10-pin, but she watched Carson. She knows, right? She just threw a great shot after the ball change. And so there's some additional confidence for Carson. And Carrie Smith knows, especially, you know, she did give Sandra Tulle some opportunities. Unfortunately, Sandra was not able to cash in on those, but she gave her a chance or two to kind of get back in that match in the opening match. And now here in the semifinals, you got your opponent. It took her 4 frames to get her first strike, 5 actually. While Smith has gone 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare double. How about 3? Maybe. Indeed. Mentioned the Lucy doubles, the PWBA Striking Against Breast Cancer mixed doubles event. One of the top events of the year, every single year. Carson will be bowling that next week. She'll be bowling with Sean Riccardi. Shout out to Sean. I guess that one might have just been maybe more of a physical item. That one was wide right of target. And now with this Carrie Smith start, this is almost a must-make split. It's going to be online, and bang, there it is. Gotta have it. Nice spare. And did not waste any time getting back up on the approach. Now, after the ball change, she is 2 for 2 on the left lane. And takes care of the 2-4-10 to still keep her in the match. Wow. You know, depending on the laydown point for Carey, right? And that one looked like it was just going to continue to push. And then it keeps creeping down the lane. It keeps creeping down the lane. And then the engine starts to rev. And next thing you know, we're at the 1-3. Wrap 10 for Carey Smith, but she has left nothing less than 9 counts. Couple 10 pins with 2 pins. And to this point, she has made every single one. Eighth frame, Carey Smith. The mixer. Hello to Melissa Riccardi and the Riccardi family. Carey did switch to the Ebonite Emerge. Daniela is correct there, the Ebonite Emerge. Carson switched to the Storm Physics. It's a good one now on the right lane. The max score now for Carson is 223. If Carey Smith were to go spare in the 9th, strike on the first one in the 10th, and continue that pattern, she would be in the 2 teens. So Lukosius, this is, for all intents and purposes here, a must strike from a winning scenario. Give herself best possible chance at winning the match. Gotta have it. And she got out of that one kind of quick. Most knew when she let it go that that one wasn't what she was looking for. 26-year-old from Jackson, New Jersey. It's for the Monmouth County Park System with the golf courses. That is what she does on a full-time basis. A lot of event planning, scheduling. This one was local enough for her to drive, so she made the drive, and here she is making the 2-8, facing a very tough opponent, and Carey Smith, who, you know, when you get players, they get a chance to play their A game, you know, they're pretty difficult to beat more times than not. And that's what Carey Smith has had a chance to do on this 45-foot lane condition. Oh, Danielle Niddle is here. Oh, there she is. She is behind lanes 9 and 10. She's over on the left there at the table. And just like that, Gary Smith trying to make it official. Summer Jasmine, the #1 seed. In her final warm-up tosses down on the warm-up pair on lanes 3 and 4. To our left, just beyond that wall that you see on the left side of your screen. She's going to look for another title, ladies and gentlemen. She's already a PWBA regional champion in 2022. And now for the third time in 2023, Carrie Smith will bowl for a regional championship. Very similar to I talked about with Sandra Tulle. You know, Carson's performance here does not diminish the day that she had. Coming in as the #2 seed, she went plus 103. That's one of those situations where, and obviously the hindsight is 2020. If she starts with the physics, maybe, right? That's a double early to start. It's a different match, perhaps. A great game by Carrie Smith. That's 235. And for those of you scoring at home, Carrie Smith defeated Sandra Tulle 231 to 163, and now defeats Carson Lukosius 234, and the final to be determined. So back-to-back 230 games for Carrie Smith to open up championship finals, and the championship match is next. Lukosius finishes with 190. What a great event for Carson. I tell you, folks, if Carson could ever bowl, and I still think she probably will win a tournament at the national level without being a member, but she's going to win a PWBA title in the future. There is no question about it. She is 26 years old, and from the first time I saw her bowl collegiately, some players you just know. She's got plenty of experience now. She had a great week at the Queens this year. She's going to win on the PWBA tour, whether it's regional, but definitely I believe she's going to win a national title. Same thing for both Summer Jasmine and Carrie Smith. The question is when for both of those players on the national tour, but right now, each will have an opportunity to take home another regional title. So we see Summer Jasmine. We did not get a chance to see Summer start the tour, the national tour specifically. She's working at Leisure Lanes, which is in her hometown of Beckley, West Virginia. And she kind of kickstarted her tour season in the Grand Rapids Classic Series. Had to, shake the cobwebs, a little bit of the rust off. And I forget which event had, I believe it was event #2 of that week, which featured the shorter pattern. Summer was able to grab a check. She started to see the shapes much better than the first event. She was still getting used to her arsenal as well. And really since that event, she started to feel more of like herself. If you are just joining us, my name is Emil Williams Jr. You are watching the PWBA Greater Pittsburgh Regional live from Nesbitt's Lanes in Plum, Pennsylvania. Patrick Martinez joined me during qualifying. He's been out now covering the finals for the PWBA YouTube channel. Dave Schroeder, our director of, the director of communications for the United States Bowling Congress, made the drive this week to cover it in person. Damon Sirocco also making the short drive from Akron, along with Dave. Both are here this week. Damon handling the tournament directing a role here this week, as he often does when Robin Graves is not available. Shout out to Robin. She's handling responsibilities at Junior Gold. Interesting to see what Summer will throw here. Now, she told me for the majority of the day, she threw a Venom Shock. And I did see her throw that during some of her warm-ups in between matches. But she just made a switch to something different. And that one certainly looks pretty good. All right, folks, one last who you got for the championship. How many people we got checking in there? If you're here watching, just say hello. That's right, points, as BK would say. If this was really BK, the title of this poll would be "Who You Tootin' For?" That's why there's only one BK. And not Burger King, but the jingle still hits though. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Hello, Barry. Tabitha's in the building. Judy is watching. Rep getting more points. Rick, we got Don. Brian McLean checking in. Hello, Brian. Been a minute. Thomas, Rod. Both players right-handed, but both players will essentially have the zone, their respective zones that they plan to be in, to themselves. Carrie Smith on an island. Maybe there's sand there with a little bit of water. She can hear the ocean. Maybe a Mai Tai or something. Summer Jasmine also on an island. Julian Brown checking in. Joe, I see you, my man. Mr. Hyman is watching. Rick, Cora, Scooby. For the championship, ladies and gentlemen, the Greater Pittsburgh Regional, Carrie Smith, Summer Jasmine. Summer, the #1 seed, has elected to have Carrie Smith begin the match. If my short-term memory is working properly, I believe this is the first time that Carrie Smith has started a match here in this championship final. Smith, a little bit of a double bounce, but when it's on target, it doesn't matter. We were talking about that bounce earlier. Nice opening strike again for Carrie Smith. If you're just joining us, she defeated the #4 seed Sandra Tulle of Galesburg, Michigan, 231 to 163 in the opening match. And then in the semifinal, as you just saw, 234 defeating Carson Lukosius. Again, 234 to 190. First shot, competition, Summer Jasmine. And a 2-pin, which has been very, very prevalent across all of these matches. Been a good leave. I think there's only been maybe one washout. Or a couple of 2-4-10s, though. One of them made by Carson Lukosius. Hello to TJC, by the way. Terry Turner says, let's go, Summer. Speaking of that, let's take a look at those poll results. There's the poll results. 53% said Summer Jasmine, 47% said Carrie Smith. Thanks for your participation. You earned yourself some points. Go ahead, hit the X to remove that from your screen. And the love tap on the 10-pin for Summer Jasmine. Summer was plus 108. High game of 254 today. Came in game 8 to move in front of Carson Lukosius and Carrie Smith. It was a matter of which of those three was going to be your leader. They had pretty much solidified themselves through 7 games that they were going to advance, but wasn't sure of the order. The bounce, bang. Talked about the Carrie earlier, just in regards to playing the gutter. And I was talking to her a little bit pre-game too, or pre-match, or pre-finals, if you will. She had a couple of ways to kind of attack it. She can go up the channel, or if she needed to get a little bit more angle, the front part of the lane, she would go right to left a bit earlier. She made a ball change in the 10th frame 2 matches ago to the Ebonite merge, and that's been the one. And there's another early 3-bagger for Carrie Smith. From Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Again, 3.5 hours away. She's got a chance to take home a professional title in her home state. Summer Jasmine from Beckley, West Virginia, not having it today. She had a couple of regional titles, but not just a sole PWBA regional title. I'll tell you what that means in a minute. And now Summer with a double. Now, Summer won a couple of early regionals back in the 2016-2017 days. Just prior to the PWBA kind of reclaiming sole ownership, if you will, of, or I should say reestablishing their regional program. The PBA is providing a women's division as part of some of their regional events. And Summer won a couple of those, one in 2016. And a bit of a week 10 there in the 4th. She also won in 2017. The 16 one was the PWBA Diamond Joe Midwest Open in Dubuque, Iowa. And in 2017, she won the PWBA Fayetteville South Open in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Just celebrated a birthday not too long ago. July 9th. She's turned 35 years of age. Early advantage, of course, to Carrie Smith. Interesting note about Summer Jasmine. remind me to make sure I talk about it. But first, it's Carrie Smith. A ball that I don't think she threw, again, the majority of the day during qualifying. And that six pin just kind of labors in front. Lead now 10 for Carrie Smith. In fact, I asked Carrie, what ball might you throw if those first two don't get it done? And at the time, he said, I'm not sure. I threw those two all day. We've learned the answer. Mentioned the Twin Cities Regional title in 2022. One appearance on Junior Team USA historically for Carrie Smith. She was the Rookie of the Year in the 2005-2006 season at Shippensburg University. A three-time second-team All-American at Shippensburg. Hook a little. It's the 10 out. Big opportunity for Summer. Oh, and she gets a nice break. That's essentially a trip 4-7-10 right there. Keep that lead at 10. Or the deficit in this case for Summer to 10 pins. So Summer, for those of you who did not know this, recently switched to 14 pounds, which that seems like something that a lot of players, especially on the PWBA Tour, have done. For her, she wanted to try to throw it a little bit harder, increase the ball speed. She thought dropping weight might be the way to do it, but what it's actually done is allowed her hand to be in a much better position. Big time double there for Summer. So again, Jasmine now throwing 14 pounds. I believe this was about 3.5 months ago, she told me. Says she needed to, hear it from other players, other individuals when she came back out on tour. Said, hey, you're throwing it good. Like where your hand is. It's obviously, it's helpful to pick up on the things as the player, but obviously when you have people you respect telling you these things, things are moving in the right direction. Anna Smith, what a title match this is shaping up to be. To keep the lead. Bang. Melanie McDaniel has joined the chat, folks. Again, Carrie Smith has 2 runner-up finishes already in regional events this season. 2. She does not want to make it 3, especially in her home state. But Summer is making her work. That's what you'd expect in a title match. Does she have another in frame 7? You bet. Split the 8-9. Summer to keep the pace, and she gets the light mixer to fall. Again, each player doing what they enjoy doing. Summer is left. She can get around it. Of course, Carey is right, throwing it hard up the gutter. It's rare to get two players be able to play their A games, and you can see it just because their zones are so drastically different. Either player willing to give an inch. Big shot. Really good shot there. You saw that 6-pin again, just lazy, laying in that corner of the right gutter. She takes care of the spare. Does Summer. Question on the high game. I believe it was 269 from Heather Sterner, but I'm not completely sure. I did a quick skim, and that was on the fresh way back in game 1 of qualifying. Quick reminder of what the players are bowling on. 45 feet, 26.95 mils. To keep it going. Oh, kicks the leg up. The 10 goes down, and she is still looking at a max of 279. Jasmine, by electing to have Carey begin the match, she's going to finish the match last. Summer will step up in frames 9 and 10 and try to put as much pressure on Carey Smith as possible, but Carey can help herself right here by striking in the 9th frame. It's got a chance. Oh, man, what a shot. 6-pin right at the bottom of the 10, wraps it right around. All right, big opportunity here. Carey's max now is 258. Summer can go off the sheet for 248. This is a must-strike situation. Summer, Jasmine. Ooh, 4-pin won't go this time. That was a huge shot there. She strikes there and doubles, or puts 2 more in the 10th, excuse me. She's in the 240s. Would have forced at least a double from Carey Smith. You talk about good, clean bowling right here. Jasmine, the number 1 seed. Smith, the number 3 seed. Same situation, though. A double here is still very important. I'll put Summer in the 230s, and count would be huge. Be looking at a force and a mark situation. A weak 10. Don't think she liked that one for sure. Spare puts her in the 220s. Now it's just going to be about pin count. Bowling is so wild, and that for essentially 7 to 8 frames, the tension builds with each strike. And all of a sudden, you see the players, when they don't strike, in Summer's case, back to back, it essentially allows Carrie Smith to breathe a little bit easier. Very nice 226 game for Summer Jasmine. Now it's essentially 9 pins and 2 shots. And Carrie Smith will take home her second career PWBA regional title, and she will earn an automatic spot into match play at the PWBA regional showdown that will take place in December. How about 10 to close it out? Bang, you bet. And there it is. Carrie Smith, a regional champion yet again. Her low game, folks, of these matches is going to be 231. 231 to defeat Sandra Tulle, 234 to defeat Carson Lukosius, and at least 230 plus here. She saves her best for last. Carrie Smith.
And how about a round of applause for Summer Jasmine? She will finish second by a great match. Great bowling, fantastic job. Carrie Smith is your winner this year.
Takes home the title in her home state. The 3.5 hour drive certainly worth it this weekend. 2 wonderful individuals, 2 great competitors. Certainly only one could win. 255 to 226. Eamon Sirocco will present Carrie Smith. Some good content will be on the YouTube channel. Rich Nesbitt's out to present the trophy. They're trying to get a quick word with Carrie.
Thank you very much. I want to thank everyone who participated this weekend. I want to thank Damon and his staff. Fantastic job. Congratulations to Carrie. And a big thank you to my staff, Anthony, my mechanic, all my help that works all week to make this possible. Wouldn't have been possible without them. Thank you guys very much.
Sneech, congrats. Get on the live stream and make sure they know we're not married, since Emil said we were.
I'm not married?
No. Really? Somebody telling the truth.
I forgot to thank you. Good job, buddy. Talking all
Thank
day.
you. You're welcome.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Appreciate you. You're welcome.
I'm gonna have Patrick make it.
Can she sit here real quick?
Do you mind taking on Patrick at the second?
We're going to have Carrie here in a minute.
We can do it afterwards. Yeah. Or do you want to do it while the screen's still up? Whatever. All right.
So I'm going to try to talk loudly so you can hear my questions. All right, folks. Carrie Smith is joining us, and we'll keep it brief here. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I know we talked before about just the opportunity to be here to do this in your home state. You do it, you get it done in excellent fashion, by the way.
Thank you.
Just discuss what went into the finals, all 3 matches. You run the ladder, 230 plus every game. What did you see out there?
Basically, I had a pretty good look on the gutter all day today, so that was my game plan coming in, and I had to throw a different ball in the finals, actually. I started with the Stealth Pearl in the first match, and my opponent was throwing a little bit of surface, so it was getting a little wiggly in the front part of the lane. So I went to the Ebonite Emerge on the fill shot, and it looked pretty good. And my other half, Jeff, and we talked about it, and the plan was to stay on that in the same part of the lane and just make good shots.
Did you have the same look you saw throughout the day?
Pretty much.
Essentially?
Out there. Just because I was so far right, more right than everybody else was. A lot of girls were trying to play kind of the middle part of the lane because it is 45 feet. But this morning in practice session, we saw a little bit of early hook out there. So, I mean, they were funny pair to pair. They're different pair to pair. So you had to play them pair to pair and bay to bay at that. So, because it is a 3-bay center. So, I just did my best to navigate them in qualifying, and then knowing that I was going to be on this pair for the championship, I actually hit this pair and shot 240 on it earlier today. So I kind of looked back at my notes to see what the differences were in the 2 lanes.
What does it mean to win in Pennsylvania, win a professional title?
It's awesome. This third time's a charm because this was my third show.
Yep.
Third show, and second in both the other ones. So I was really close, and I kind of rewrote the script today. So it means a lot because I have a lot of family. My parents are back home watching. Jeff's parents are watching, and my college girls are watching. So this one's for them.
And then finally, just the emotional moment, right? You get a chance to get a berth in the regional showdown.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier. If you win a regional showdown, you get all of your entry fees paid for 2024. What does that mean to grab a spot, an automatic spot to match play in that?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I don't think people realize how expensive it is to travel and have to pay our entry fees on top of it. So for me, I save my money all year long because this is what I use my vacation for at work, and this is what I love to do. And yeah, so it's a great opportunity, and after having health issues a couple years ago, I'm just blessed to be out here and be back on this stage again.
Well, and also, for some reason, I guess I thought you guys were, a one from a couple perspective.
It's okay. Everybody thinks we're married. We've been together for 10.5 years. We are not related, but we do have the same last name. So.
Well, you're good then.
Yeah, we're good.
You're golden.
It's all good.
Excellent. Congrats, Carrie. Great ball today.
Thank you so much, Emil.
That is Carrie Smith, ladies and gentlemen. She will take one more photo and have a quick moment with Dave Schroeder after her photo with Patrick Martinez. Well, that was a wonderful, wonderful way to end this regional. A fantastic title match. Congrats to Carrie. Congrats to Summer Jasmine. Also Carson Lukosius, who finished third, along with Sandra Tulle, who finished fourth. But what a moment for Carrie Smith. As she mentioned, third time is indeed the charm today. Again, 231 in her opening victory over Sandra Tulle, 234 in her second victory in the semifinals against Carson Lukosius, and she shoots 255, 720 for her 3 games in the championship match, a 240 average, folks, and she takes home the Greater Pittsburgh Regional title. What a moment for Carrie Smith. Congrats to, as she mentioned, all of the parents watching and certainly the incoming freshmen who will take the lanes for Coach Smith, for Coach Carrie and Coach Jeff, for that matter, at Alvernia University in the upcoming season. As Rich said in his moment out on the lanes and presenting the trophy, I would like to thank Rich Nesbitt for all he did. Wonderful host. Big thanks to Anthony. They were great. Sean and everybody here from a staff perspective here at Nesbitt's Lanes. It was fantastic. Thank you so much for having the PWBA. Good to have women's bowling back in the Steel City. Want to thank Damon Sirocco, our tournament director today, Dave Schroeder, USBC Director of Communications, out handling the story today, and also would like to thank certainly Patrick Martinez joining me in the booth during qualifying and also handling all of the content during the finals. That will do it for us here, folks. Congrats again to Carrie Smith. The archive, of course, will be available for you to watch if you missed anything. Bowl TV has been the place to be this weekend with PBA 50. We've got the Skill Ball Challenge. Junior Gold just wrapped up. The TV finals will air on CBS Sports Network for those of you who are curious about that. Check bowl.com or bowl.com/youth for all of the dates and times. I want to thank the United States Bowling Congress and the USBC Board, the Bowling Proprietors Association of America and the BPAA Board, Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of the PWBA. I want to thank the PWBA athletes themselves. What a match. And again, without those athletes, this job just would not be as fun. And certainly want to thank you, the Bowl TV community, because without you, it wouldn't be as fun as well. Thank you so much for joining us. The next regional will be August 27th at the Cherry Bowl in Rockford, Illinois. Again, August 27th, PWBA Rockford Regional at the Cherry Bowl in Rockford, Illinois. But that is not the next time you will see PWBA athletes. You'll see them and their PBA stars, their counterparts, next week at the PWBA PBA Striking Against Breast Cancer Mixed Doubles. And then follow that 2 weeks later for the season-ending PWBA Tour Championship Week in Waterloo, Iowa. So for Patrick Martinez, Rich Nesbitt, Damon Sirocco, Dave Schroeder, and our entire crew and the staff here at Nesbitt's Lanes, my name is Emil Williams Jr. I will say so long for now. I'll see you next week from Houston. This has been a presentation of the PWBA Greater Pittsburgh Regional. Congrats again to Carrie Smith. You watched it live and only on bowltv.com. Bowling lives here. Good night, folks.